Hello, team owners of the USFL Premier Fantasy Football League 20-team league. Here are highlights week 9, previews week 10, and fans alike. Memphis Showboats and the Portland Breakers go into this week with no quarterback on either team, work their waiver wire, end up with quarterbacks. Nick Mullins for the Portland Breakers stands in and wins for Jason this week. Very pivotal game for Jason as he was 3-5, and he really needed to win to stay in the hunt out in the Pacific, and he did. 26-19 over the Memphis Showboats. Memphis Showboats lose 2 in a row after starting out 7-0. They are now 7-2 and have slid 1 game behind the Jacksonville Bulls out in the South. The Washington Federals have a pretty easy game of it against the San Antonio Gunslingers without a quarterback, 35-16. Chicago Blitz and the New Jersey Generals go at it. And on Monday Night Football, Ezekiel Elliott helps the Chicago Blitz, who was a first-round draft pick for the Chicago Blitz back in his rookie season. I remember that night very well. The Jacksonville Bulls kept one player, and they thought that they were going to outsmart everybody. And before he knew it, the Chicago Blitz picked up Ezekiel Elliott right out from under him because Chicago kept none. It's like a poker hand. And you'll learn that, any of you new guys, this coming year when it comes to keepers. It is like a poker hand. No one knows who keeps and who does not. But I remember that night very well. Chicago Blitz, Ezekiel Elliott, take down the New Jersey Generals 20-17. Arizona Wranglers go into Michigan. Bad deal, bad idea. Kevin Perilou, you got whooped 37-24. I tell you what, Michigan Mark Nemi's team is really hot. He is the defending champ. He is the guy to beat as far as I can see from his roster. He wins over Kevin Perilou's Arizona Wranglers, moves them out of the top spot out in the Pacific, 37-24. Pittsburgh Maulers go down to the Jacksonville Bulls, who are now 7-1 and 1 game up on the Showboats out in the South. The New York City Hitmen win their game over the Birmingham Stallions, 30-20. The Tampa Bay Bandits, surprise, surprise, take down the Oklahoma Outlaws. Spoiler alert, Brian Tracy with Tampa Bay Bandits right now is in first place in the spoiler award category. Takes down the Oklahoma Outlaws 20-13. Outlaws suffer their third loss of the season, go to 6-3. And the Central has got 4 teams at 6-3 right now. The Orlando Renegades lose to the Houston Gamblers, another tough team out in the Central, 23-14. And the Philadelphia Stars' John Puhala goes into the Invaders Stadium, takes them down 26-16. John Puhala goes to 5-4, 1 game behind the Federals out in the Atlantic Division. And then the LA Express, El Briscoe and Joey Maynard. Mainly Joey has left and is only playing in the 16-team league. But El Briscoe, congratulations. You've won again, and you are now in first place in the Pacific Division based on points, having the same record as Kevin Perilou's Wranglers. But LA Express win 22-16. Moving on to previews this coming week. Of course, we're down to 4 weeks left, guys. Memphis Showboats play the Tampa Bay Bandits. Brian Tracy's hot right now. And spoiler alert once again, as Memphis has lost 2 games. So this is a one to watch. Memphis has got to get back on track this week, James Hayes' team. Because the Bulls are not going to let up. The Gunslingers, Jake Matthews plays Chicago Blitz, John Walters and Christine Walters. And actually that team, the Chicago Blitz, is going to have some reshaping with different family members running the team. But nonetheless, the Blitz are the Blitz. They're always in the top 8 board. Very good organization. But San Antonio and the Blitz are going to go at it. San Antonio is very interesting. They're 3-6 and have kind of sort of entered the spoiler award. Jake just says, give me that spoiler award right now. But let's wait and see because the San Gunslingers have 4 divisional games against each one of its divisional foes. And if they could sweep this thing, who knows? They might even rock that division some. I don't think that there's any mathematical chance of Jake winning the division this year. but he could surely knock out a few of his divisional foes there. This week, it'll be the San Antonio Gunslingers and the Chicago Blitz. New Jersey Generals play the Washington Federals. That'll be an uphill climb for Jose Plaza's team, as the Generals are facing a juggernaut in the Federals Tina has put together. The Philadelphia Stars in one of the biggest games of the week. The Philadelphia Stars are playing the New York City Hitmen. Both teams are 5-4, one game behind the Federals. I'll tell you, it's a pivotal game. The team who loses here is really going to be behind the 8 ball to try to make the top 8 board and definitely to try to win the Atlantic Division. The LA Express are going to play the Denver Gold, and the Jacksonville Bulls are playing the Orlando Renegades. The Arizona Wranglers are playing the Oakland Invaders, and this is an important Pacific battle here. This is another one of those games where the team that loses here is going to have real trouble trying to win their division. Very important game for Arizona Wranglers and Oakland Invaders. Birmingham Stallions play the Portland Breakers, which is another game that probably really the team that loses here will probably not be able to make the top 8 board. The team that wins will still have a shot at the top 8 board. That's the Stallions and the Portland Breakers. Houston Gamblers play the Oklahoma Outlaws, probably the game of the week. We have our honorary USFL veteran players, Scott Boucher and Keith Clark, that'll be going against each other in that game. Houston Gamblers and Oklahoma Outlaws is one to watch. And the Pittsburgh Maulers play the Michigan Panthers this week, go into Michigan for a tough, hot Michigan Panthers team. So, look, the announcements that I wanted to make, I had a little imaginary article there in the fan page this morning. Yes, we are now going to go to 20 teams that have a USFL franchise, actual USFL franchise formation back in the day. They never saw the field, but the Spirit of Miami was officially the 20th of all the franchises that the USFL ever had. Tina is likes the name, and she's going to take them, and Washington Federals will dissolve into the hands of the New York City Hitmen and become the Washington Federals. Terry Harness was a little heartbroken for his Hitmen to go away, but they were never part of the USFL. He understands that. He's going to be a tough team as a Washington Federal right there in the Atlantic, doing the same thing he always does, threatening the divisional title holder every game all season long. That's what Terry Harness does, and that's what the new Federals team will do as Tina moves to the Miami, Spirit of Miami. So, and I'm glad that is happening. So, don't forget our playoff format. Everybody can play in the 20th league except for the bottom 4, the spoiler award. There's a few new guys. Please ask if you do not understand that. And we are going to have a lot of relocations this coming year. Mike Lancelotti is going to be moving over from the Oakland Invaders into the Atlantic Division to take the Stars. John Pahala, who's currently with the Stars, will go to the Pittsburgh Maulers. Michael Bosley has left us with the Pittsburgh Maulers, and that's why that transition is able to take place. And then, of course, as the aforementioned, the Spirit of Miami will now be Tina's team, and the New York City Hitmen will dissolve into the Federals. And then, of course, Jose Plaza, one of our new owners, is taking the New Jersey Generals as Matthew goes over and works with Jason to build a championship team out in Portland. There also are a couple of other moves that are going to be made. The Orlando Renegades owner, Randy Miner, he is going to be going to the Oakland Invaders. And we're going to have an open team, and that's going to be the Orlando Renegades. And I already have someone who will probably be taking over that team that's doing very well in the number 16 team league. So we're only going to get more competitive guys. I'm coming up with a little Hall of Fame real soon that I never got to the other day. But everybody have fun. Everybody line them up. Nobody quit playing. We love to play somebody, have a real opponent to play each week, not like these abandoned leagues, these 10 and 12 team easy league that play in. I hope this is making you better to play in this league, and have a great week, guys.